Hello, my grade 10 learners! Our topic for today is arts. Modern art, artistic concept of modern art movements. We have now in our Lesson 1 Characteristics of Art Movements. We have also pre-assessment posted in our Google Classroom. You still remember the different art elements and principles? Let us check if you still remember the different art elements and principles. You'll need this as we go on with our discussion. You need to know on how to create different art movements. Let's get into your work, creating the various art movements. So let's start. When we talk about art elements, what do you think? And also, principles of art. I'll give you a couple of minutes to answer the questions. Directions. Write down the different art elements and principles you could still remember on the spaces provided below. I give you 3 minutes to answer. And now, our answer in art elements, principles, art. Elements of art such as color, shape, form, value, texture, space, line. Pertaining to principles of design, we have balance, unity, variety, emphasis, movement, pattern, and proportion. Presented below is an example of a masterpiece of a Bukidnon artist. Try to look at the characteristics used by the artist. With this, create your own work and select what kind of art movements you want in your canvas. And now let's go to installation art. Installation art is a contemporary art form that uses sculptural materials and other media to modify the way the viewer experiences a particular space. Usually life-size or sometimes even larger. Installation art is not necessarily confined to gallery spaces. It can be constructed or positioned in everyday, public, or private spaces, both indoor and outdoor. Material used in today's installation art range from everyday items and natural materials to new media such as video, sound, performance, and computers. Now let's proceed to performance art. It's a form of modern art in which the actions of an individual or a group of a particular place and in a particular time constitute the work. It can happen everywhere, at any time, or for any length of time. It can be any situation that involves 4 basic elements: time, space, the performance body, and a relationship between performer and audience. Figure 1. Process of deciding the style and technique to apply in artwork based on modern art. The figure below will show you the basic step in deciding what particular style or technique an artist is to use for an artwork. It is important for you to decide first your subject. Select what object, idea, or event that you will focus on your artwork. Before deciding on the style and technique you are going to use in order to convey a better representation and a message of your artwork. And also, we have the type of modern art. It is, what particular modern art do you like to try? And also, come to think, first the subject, next type of modern art, and lastly, we have type and technique. Use the technique of the modern art you like to try. It is the figure below will show you the basic step in deciding what particular style or technique an artist is used for an artwork. Styles and techniques in artwork differ from era to era. Some artists were able to invent new style and technique accidentally, because artworks are based on events, moods of the artist, or because of natural inspiration. They tend to produce in a manner that is different from the way other artworks are produced. Modern art is characterized by a movement away from the traditional and classical modes in painting that made many artists feel outdated. It shows more experimentation and new perspective and ideas on how art is supposed to be and how it functions. Below are the different art styles and techniques in the modern art movement, grouped in each era. Below are the different art style and techniques in the modern art movement, grouped in each era. We have Expressionism in art movement, style, technique, impasto, information. Kindly observe the picture. Thick paint is applied on the surface, leaving the brush strokes or painting knife strokes visible. Thick paint gives texture and evoking intense and violent mood of the artwork. Colors are bold, often strong, and unnatural. Now, let's have Claude Monet, Impression Sunrise in 1872. It is Impressionism. The style and technique is Impressionist painting. The information of this, characterized by pure colors of paint used and dabbed on canvas rather than mixing them on their palette. The result is quick, spontaneous, and loose brushstrokes with emphasis on dark colors to show movement of light in the open environment. It is the creation of Claude Monet. And now let's have our Cubism. The style is synthetic cubism. An object is represented by different planes of view. Some artworks are in the form of interconnected planes, differentiated by using different bright colors in every plane, collage, and even paper cutouts to form the artwork. As you can see, synthetic cubism is a period in the Cubism art movement that lasted from 1912 until 1940. Led by two famous Cubist painters, it became a popular style of artwork that includes characteristics like simple shapes, bright colors, and little to no depth. It was also the birth of collage art, in which real objects were incorporated into the paintings. Now let's have our Dadaism. Ready-made artwork are made from found objects, but use different form their normal functions. And also we have Photomontage. It is similar to Cubism. It made use of clippings, of photographs, or reproduced in images that were pasted together. Next, we have art movement. It is Surrealism. So under Surrealism, we have different kinds of art movement. It is Abstract Surrealism, Portage, Picalco Mania, and Gottage. Under Surrealism, we have Picalco Mania, a technique where a paint is splashed on a piece of paper. While the paint is still wet, another piece of paper is rubbed on it, giving a forest-like pattern. Now let's have our gouache. Style of gouache uses the painted canvas placed on top of a texture surface. The paint will then be scraped away, creating an impression. Talk about gouache, literally scratching, scraping, is a technique in surrealist painting which consists in scratching from fresh paint with a sharp blade. So typically attempts to scratch and remove the chromatic pigment spread on a prepared support, the canvas or other material in order to move the surface and make it dynamic. Incorporate technique of gouache in painting in order to create a strong sense of texture or pattern on the surface of the picture plane. And we have our automatic drawing. As you can see, uses a writing instrument and just let it move around a medium without conscious thought. As you can see, it is like a doodle drawing. So another way to enjoy automatic drawing. So my professor taught by my art professor. So put some music of your choice and also turn off the lights. Close your eyes and move your hand along with the music. So once you're done, you can create whatever you want, such as lines. so you can found it easily and have fun. And have our image. It is done placing a piece of paper over a lighted candle, creating smoke. Moving the paper around will result in tape patterns from the soup. So it is used by a paper or a candle via smoke. And also we have drip painting. So the technique utilizes paint drips from a moving can of paint. We have also the abstract expressionism. We have also here the action painting. So the technique is an energetic style of painting where the paint is splashed, dripped, or spilled onto the canvas. As you can see, it is spontaneous and impulsive. You can also create a painting with yarn. Is a great way to be spontaneous. So you need to dip the yarn into the painting and then you create some kind of canvas if you dipped and splash the paint into the paper or any kind of materials being used. So, under also abstract expressionism, we have also the color field painting. It uses flat areas or field of colors, inviting the viewers to contemplate and create an emotional response. So large in size to create the impact of the viewers. So as you can see, the color field painting is a style of abstract painting that emerged in New York City during 1940s to 1950s. It was inspired by European modernism and closely related to an abstract expressionism, which many of its notably early proponents were among the pioneering abstract expressionism. As you can see, the color field is characterized primarily by large field of flat, solid color spread across or stained into the canvas, creating areas of unbroken surface and a flat picture plane. The movement places less emphasis on gestures. As you can see, the brush strokes and action in favor of an overall consistency of form and process. So in terms of color, it is field painting with color spread. Also from the objective context and become the subject in itself. And also we have different kinds of pattern stripes, simple geometric patterns, landscape, or imagery into nature. You can add different kinds of designs in pertaining to color field painting. Also, the optical art or op art. Kinetic art, an art form that creates illusion to the eyes of the viewers thinking it is moving. Achieved by the use of geometric designs arranged in careful mathematical patterns. And now, let's move to our performance task. Directions. Using a color material of your choice, create your own modern art on the box provided below. Identify the style and technique used in making your artwork. Please refer to the rubric as your tool. Answer the questions found after the rubric. As you can see, we have here the rubric: creativity, technique, art concept, and also we have craftsmanship. Distinguished, that is 15 points. Proficient, 13 points. Competent, 12 points. Emerging is 10 points. For a total of 50 points. So, let's have our individual activity. Depending on the activity you choose, you may follow the suggested procedure given. But as a free will, you may modify and create your own artwork. Remember to record this or take a picture and submit directly to your teacher. Read and understand the rubric given as your tool. Again, it is your individual activity, my own modern art. Reading the various art movements, you will choose your own topic to make and submit it to your online or modular teacher. You can choose action painting, color field painting, pop art, installation, and performance art. Make sure you read and understand our rubrics. Procedure for action painting. We have here the action painting. Number 1, gather your materials, cartolina, waxboard, or other recycled board, acrylic paints, paint brushes, sponges, or popsicle sticks, recycled mixing plates, small rugs for cleaning up, newspaper for covering work surface. Number 2, consider the overall composition and technique that you will use. Number 3, select desired colors of paint and apply this to the board using actions such as brushing, sprinkling, dripping, and flicking. Let the paint dry. Number 4, decide on a title for your painting and take a picture. 5, give an insight about your paintings. In addition, we have Pictograph Approach. So, procedure. Gather your materials, cartolina or waxboard, acrylic poster, or any available paints in primary colors, such as black, white, and also paint brushes, small rugs for cleaning up. Number 2, consider the overall composition and technique that you will use. Select colors of paint similar to those used by color field artists, and plan how this will be arranged in your artwork. Number 3, for Pictograph Approach, use the number 8 brush to paint small picture fragments or symbols in a repeating pattern on the entire cartolina or board. Let the paint dry. 4, decide on a title for your painting and take a picture. Give an insight about the painting that you have done. Once again, it is Pictograph Approach. We have also the pop art. Again, number 1, gather your materials, such as cartolina or boxboard, old colored magazines, newspapers or calendars, scissors, glue or paste. watercolor, acrylic paints, poster colors, crayons, or pastels. Number 8, paint brushes and or sponges. Number 2, select a popular subject for your artwork. Example, a product, a celebrity, a movie, or television, a character, sport, a place, a brand name, etc. Plan how this will be depicted using your available materials. Number 3. Add images from the magazine, newspapers, or calendars, and view or place them cover the background with to do. You may ask help from a very good resource person if necessary. Number 2, prepare and put together creative and innovative materials for the planned installation and bring this to your chosen work area. Number 3, together assemble the materials to construct your installation. Number 4, give the work a thought-provoking title and label it accordingly. 5, take a picture of your work. Number 6, put a discussion on how the final output made the person feel and think, and whether they consider this as good example of installation art or not. Performance art. Number 1. Since this is an individual activity, try to ask any concept about performance art presentation, or you may watch different videos from the internet. 2. Considering that you will be the one to perform, prepare your materials such as relevant props and costume to add color to the presentation. 3. Remember to record your activity to be submitted to your teacher. You may also present it in 5 minutes or long for your performance task. Number 4. Give your insights on how the output made the person feel and think, and whether they consider this as good example of performance art or not. So, by using your own activity or artwork, you can give insights on how the output made the person feel and think. Whatever they consider this as good examples or performance art or not. Number 1. What theme did you choose for your artwork? Number 2. What technique and style did you use? Number 3. Why did you choose that technique or style to represent the theme of your chosen artwork? Number 4. Do you think you were successful in making a visual representation of your chosen theme? In what way? And now, our post test is now posted in our Google Classroom.